So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at another Codewars coding challenge, and I've picked this one today because the instructions for the challenge are quite brief, and that can sometimes happen when you're working in a real job where you receive a ticket or a story that you need to complete, and it's not quite clear what you're supposed to be doing. So the actual essence of this challenge is quite simple once you've understood what you need to do, but this simple multiplication challenge is asking us to multiply a given number that's supplied to a function as an argument, and if the number is even, we're supposed to multiply it by 8, and if it's a number that's not even, an odd number, then we need to multiply it by 9. So just reading this instructions, it's a little bit confusing. I needed to read it a couple of times just to be sure that this is what I was needed to be done, and also the tests as well. Looking at those, you can usually get an indication as to what it is that the function should be returning, but they've got some strange comments in the tests saying it should return double for these first two test cases, and that's correct because of the input arguments that have been given to it, multiplying it either by 8 or by 9. But it's kind of a poor choice of words because it suggests that these arguments should be multiplied by themselves or doubled to give the result, and that's not actually the case. So with other coding challenges on Codewars and other sites, generally you'll get some more examples and you'll get some more information about what you should be doing, and I kind of like this challenge for this reason, that it's very brief with the instructions, because it does make you think about what you're doing and you need to reread it a couple of times just to fully understand what it is that you should be doing. But we'll go ahead and solve the challenge now, because as I say, it's not actually that complicated. So we could do something like a simple if statement. So if we want to work out if a number is odd or even, we can use the modulus operator and see if it gives us a 0 result. So for example, if the number modulus 2, so we're dividing it by 2 and seeing if there's any remainder. So if there's no remainder, if it's equal to 0, then we know it's an even number because it's exactly divisible by 2. So that's the way that we would find out if a number is odd or even. So in this case, the number is going to be even. So what do we do in that particular case? Well, if it's even, then we need to multiply the argument by 8. So we can just do a simple return statement here and say number multiplied by 8. It's a bit of a strange challenge. I'm not sure where you'd want to multiply by these specific numbers. You'd probably be better as providing these as a separate argument, but let's just gloss over that and continue with the challenge. So that should handle any test cases that have got the even numbers, and if we've got this far, then we know that this if statement has failed, so we know that the number must be odd. So we can just do a simple return statement here and return the number multiplied by 9, I believe it is. So let's just run the test cases and make sure that they're passing for the code that we've written, and everything seems to be okay there. So there are lots of different ways that you could make this function shorter and neater without losing any of the clarity of what it's actually doing. So if you've got any suggestions on how that might be done, drop a comment below so you can share that with everyone else, and we'll see what the best solution we can come up with for this particular task. But as you can see, the tests are passing, so the challenge is now complete. So that's the end of today's tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned for more web dev tips.